Germany's GDP. It was negative 0.3% in 2023 and negative 0.2% in 2024. You look at these red numbers and you see a catastrophe. I see a successful system debug.
A debug. That is an unbelievably clinical way to describe a cardiac arrest. We are talking about the industrial engine of Europe seizing up. Volkswagen is considering closing domestic factories for the first time in its history. BASF shutting down facilities. 110,000 jobs have just evaporated. These aren't lines of code. These are families losing their livelihoods.
It is a forced unloading of environmental load. The system is finally, shedding the weight it can no longer carry. You call it a collapse because your metric for success is the volume of destruction, how much you can dig up and burn. Look, Germany is the world's first high-load experiment. It's proving that the accumulation OS, the entire operating system based on infinite extraction and external dependence, has finally triggered a fatal error.
It's not an OS error, it's a policy disaster caused by the debt break. I mean, we have a constitutional ban on borrowing money right when we need to invest. We have a triple structural defect. We lost cheap Russian gas, the Chinese market turned on us, and our own government refuses to spend to fix it. We need to build semiconductor plants, battery factories, but we are paralyzed by this fiscal obsession.
So you want to pump fresh blood into a corpse. That triple structural defect isn't a bug. It is the proof that the model itself was broken from the start. Germany was, well, a parasite on external stability. Now that the host is detached, the parasite is starving. Investing billions into restarting that defective model isn't a solution. It's just throwing good energy after bad.
So we just surrender our identity? We are a manufacturing nation. We build the best internal combustion engines in the world. You can't just delete a century of engineering excellence because of a bad quarter.
You build physical assets. You polish pistons. But the global market doesn't want precision machinery anymore. It wants smartphones on tires.
That is a gross simplification. A car
is now a software platform. While Germany spent decades perfecting the vibration of a valve, China and the US pivoted to intelligence. Look at the inventory data. German cars are becoming dead stock because they're defined by their hardware. The value is shifted to the brain, and Germany is still trying to sell the skeleton.
But we can catch up. We can, but not without a reliable power source. You call this unloading. I call it deindustrialization. We went all in on renewables before they were ready. We cannot run a heavy industry economy without the base load of fossil fuels.
Humanity went all in on Earth's buried gold, fossil fuels, centuries ago. That was the anomaly. We built a civilization on the assumption that we could burn finite stocks forever. What you're witnessing in Germany is an inevitable engine stall. The system lacks autonomous circulation. It consumes, but it does not regenerate.
But that consumption is what keeps society standing. The economy is like a bicycle. If you stop pedaling, if you stop growing, you fall over. We have to keep the GDP moving up or the pensions fail, the social safety net tears, the whole thing crashes.
That is the most dangerous myth you hold. The economy isn't a bicycle. It is a defective machine designed to explode if it stops. This is the architecture of war finance.
War finance? We are in peacetime. This is about credit ratings and investment yields, for goodness sake.
There is no such thing as peacetime economics under this model. It's a Rothschild-style design where money is born as debt. Every euro created via credit creation is just a keystroke, it's data, but it enters the world attached to a demand for interest. That interest creates a permanent mathematical scarcity. It is a game of forced musical chairs. We are compelled to grow, to plunder the earth, just to service the debt on money that was created out of thin air.
But that pressure is what drives innovation. It's the incentive structure of the modern world. If you remove the need to service debt, you remove the drive to create value. Without that mechanism, we go back to the Stone Age.
You are confusing value with data. Credit creation is just data entry. But because we treat this data as a physical restraint, we are destroying the actual physical world to validate a ledger entry. Germany isn't failing because it lacks capability. It is being crushed by the mathematics of compound interest on a finite planet. The growth you are so desperate to restart is just a cover for a system designed to amplify power through debt.
If we follow your logic, then we just accept total collapse. The pensions, the stability, the social contract, it all relies on the growth myth. We must stabilize the ship. We have to find a way to make the numbers work again.
The growth or death binary is a false construct of a plundered tool designed by financiers. Germany's collapse is the end of the accumulation OS. We are witnessing the hard limit of a system that only counts destruction as progress. Transitioning to circular capitalism, where money is redefined as energy for life support rather than debt to be serviced, is the only rational investment for survival. The old machine is dead. Stop trying to restart it.
Well, the key is to add kidney beans or black beans. That's a great source of protein, and they have a really good texture that works well in chili.